Pockets too big, they sumo. Pockets too big, they sumo.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas, massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Dak Prescott bringing out the Dallas Cowboys offense. It's an offense through 3 weeks that hasn't looked that sharp. Only 13 points against Seattle in the loss in Week 3, Charles. And that offensive line not really protecting him. He got sacked 5 times.
It's not the same offensive line. Zach Martin, their Pro Bowl guard, their All-Pro guard, was dinged in preseason. He's still working his way through all of that. Travis Frederick, their All-Pro center, he's out for the foreseeable future. They've got a rookie guard in Connor Williams who needs that direction and help. So guess what? It's made it tough for Ezekiel Elliott to run the ball. And it's also made it tough for Dak Prescott, as you mentioned, to be protected. He's thrown for under 200 yards in 5 straight games dating back to last season, through 2 interceptions in this last loss at Seattle.
They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Prescott now on second down. On the left side, he finds Beasley. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
This offense begins and ends with Ezekiel Elliott. He played in only 10 games last year after leading the league in rushing as a rookie, but still led the league in rushing yards per game for the 2nd year in a row. When he gets his hands on the football, everyone comes to the edge of their seat.
On second down, Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On third down, it's Prescott. And he fends him off. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. A give to Elliott, and he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
Finishing in the top 10 in the NFL with 12 sacks last year was Ziggy Ansah, and I just absolutely love his backstory. Went to BYU to run track, maybe play some basketball. Instead discovered a game he had never played before, American football. And now look at him, a perennial double-digit sack guy in the league.
A second down throw for Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. On the counter, Elliott. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Second down, Prescott. And this one caught by Beasley. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Now Prescott. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. The former Georgia product leading out this crew in his 10th year now at the helm of the Lions. It's Matthew Stafford.
One thing you ask for from your quarterback, improvement each and every season. You also ask for consistency. Matthew Stafford, 7 straight years over 4,000 yards passing. He's still looking for that initial playoff victory during his tenure, but I think that he's been leading them towards it and has a chance to get it in the upcoming future.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And out now come the Cowboys. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. And his throw here is incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Here's Prescott. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is indeed good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. And now the offense for Detroit.
Throw on your shades, throw on your sunglasses. We're about to shine a little spotlight on Golden Tate, who comes off of 4 straight seasons with 90 or more catches. He's a guy that maybe doesn't get put in the category of elite receiver, but when you look at his production overall and how he's used in their offense, wide receiver, slot back, takes some plays at running back, he's a threat every time the ball's in his hands, especially after the catch.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he dumps it off to Blunt. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. Skirts by him at the 35. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Prescott from the gun. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Devon Kennard able to drop him for a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. After the interception, here's Stafford. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Malik Collins coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him again. Randy Gregory in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
One-handed, love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. They'll be saying, hey, run that one back, Coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more times.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Prescott to throw it. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Prescott now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Now Prescott. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And before we can get to the field goal try, time will run out on this first quarter of play. The Cowboys out in front early. We're back to Arlington in just a moment. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash, this from 48. And this one is right down the middle. And that will make our score 9-0. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
He'll run it here with Blount. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Stafford on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Stafford. Looking left sideline, incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Blount. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Throwing on third down, Stafford. It's caught, Jones. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. To throw is Stafford. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a 14-yard pickup, but it'll still be second down.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Blunt. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. From the gun, Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now here come the Cowboys. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. The give is to Elliott, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Elliott. Ooh, with a juke. And now running right through it. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, the big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. This is taken at the 15. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Lions will take over. Here's a look at Golden Tate as he heads back onto the field now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 right at the 30. The drive starts with a handoff to Blount. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. To throw on 2nd down to Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Lions on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll run with Elliott. This one all the way up to the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Okay, every now and then my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up, and you let them out.
And take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't step over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it.
They go play action here on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. 2nd quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. Over the middle here to Wilson. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now a carry for Blunt. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But, writing down your ad.
If you print, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and that'll set him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Following the interception, here's Prescott, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time, and it's 2nd down. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. That is incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Prescott. He finds Hearns left side. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. A left side completion to Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards for number 11. Stafford on 1st down. To the right and complete to Galladay. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Stafford now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, it's Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Throwing again is Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Tate. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To the air again. Stafford out to the flat for Ritter. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Lions on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Stafford looks to throw again. And this one goes incomplete. A first misfire there after 6 straight completions, and it leads to 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or 2. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Wait,
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw is Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Prescott on 1st down. Burns brings it in. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 46. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Lions on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Stafford. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for a Lions first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Stafford caught on the right side by Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And he dumps it off to Blunt. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
False start, offense.
Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on third down. From the gun, Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Sam Martin now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A first down throw for Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll begin here with Blunt. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Stafford. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Sam Martin now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Now Austin. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now Elliott. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go to Elliott again, and he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Prescott from the gun. They do a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. Well, this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, Stafford. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it. But he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
You expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 14. Here's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Reddick. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
15 yards through the air and a first down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no option.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Reddick. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. From the gun, Stafford. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
Good solid gain on first down. About what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. The shotgun snap for Stafford. They're able to Kate Wilson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Luke Wilson from 19 yards away. And the Lions have got it back to a one-score game.
Luke Wilson spent 5 years with the Seahawks, most of that time playing behind Jimmy Graham. I think he's going to get a few more looks in this Lions offense, and he just capitalized on one of them right there. 11 touchdowns, 5 years with Seattle. I expect that number to jump in Detroit.
Prater for the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is Elliott. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Ricky Jean-Francois in on the tackle.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Hey, got 3.
Again, it's Elliott. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been stymied left and right. Converted only one time. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And Detroit getting set to go now. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly. Now Riddick.
taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On first down at Stafford. Catch made right side by Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Stafford on first down. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Operating from the gun. Stafford over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Again, it's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. This is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott drops it underneath to Elliott. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver or tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Prescott down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ricky Jean-Francois in there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a 4th down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at about the 32. From the gun, here's Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves to James. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Stafford looks to throw again. Caught right side Tate. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 18. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Get set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21.
26, 26.
A give to Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After reviewing the play, the line on the field is reversed.
Here we go. 26. 26.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
26.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Tate. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. From the gun, Stafford. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not.
And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Over the middle. He hits Austin. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And Beasley with it over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken around the 12. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Lions will take over. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. Riddick with a carry. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They go back to Riddick. Room here to run. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
He's going to let one fly for Tate. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a third and about 13.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. Certainly they want to win this game, but down 3, they know what they need to do. Get in field goal range, at least have a chance to tie.
And if you approach it the right way, you almost have a safety net. Knowing just a field goal gets it done. You don't press for the touchdown, but you take it if the opportunity comes. If the opening's there, someone slips in the secondary and you get a big play. But otherwise, get the 3. Put that on the board and try to extend the game.
They'll be trying to muster 3. Of course, they'd love the score to win it. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He hits Beasley right side. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards for number 11. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. He's back to throw. His throw incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Austin. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Back to throw. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas 1st down. A first down carry by Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And at 50 seconds left, he'll spike it to stop the clock. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Prescott to throw. And that is incomplete. This defense so strong all afternoon long. Well executed again there.
This is a group that really functions well off of each other. No matter what the assignment, the other person fills in the exact proper spot. They've made it very, very hard for them to find open places to throw the football.
This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Running with Elliott. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on fourth down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions looking like they're going to come away with a victory. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the fourth quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. Football League, Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.